Okay, look, I'm going to take you back to Hurricane Sandy, which is interesting because right after that came, was it Sandy Hook? Okay, so let's just look. This is a video I did a long time ago. I'm just going to take you through some pertinent parts and explain to you, where this electric anomaly shit's coming from. But there's a personal side to this, and I'm not. Well, just follow with me if you can.
To take you inside an incredible event. We first traveled to this community because there were so many people who would not evacuate. And then,
yeah, because they're fucking tied into the fucking bullshit.
And we were there when it became one of the most dramatic stories of the hurricane. A fire burning more than 100 homes to the ground. And this is a New York neighborhood that is home to so many firefighters.
So 100 homes that were burned to 100 firefighters. Firefighters are who? They're firemen. This is a war between two factions, I'm sure, and I don't know how to tie all this together. The governor of the state said, after all of that happened, he said, we'll rebuild, we're a hardy lot. The word lot in Hebrew, and this guy is definitely affiliated with the Jews, the word lot in Hebrew means hidden. So they're a hidden group, but they're a hardy bunch. The firemen are the fallen angels. This is a group. This is like a Sodom and Gomorrah biblical story where the town just gets flattened by fire by you know who, by God. So watch.
Who were there for 9/11. My colleague
and they were there for 9/11. Remember the heroes run for 9/11? So there's that tie-in.
2020 co-anchor Elizabeth Vargas here with more. Elizabeth.
Diane, we spent the day today at Breezy Point. It's a community of firefighters and first responders with a long history of sacrifice. Last night and early this morning.
A long history of sacrifice. I'll bet. On who? Yeah. On who's being sacrificed.
These people who have saved so many from so much were forced to stand by helplessly, unable to save themselves from the hurricane's most unexpected destruction.
Where was your home? Oh my gosh.
Now remember, this was all underwater. Really? Fire burning underwater? And if we notice right here, you see the X and then the X. Okay, it's all right there for you to see. I'm not making it up.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Today, the New York neighborhood of Breezy Point has been reduced to a moonscape.
A moonscape. That's interesting. A moonscape.
Block after block of this residential area, more than 100 homes, now nothing more than smoldering rubble, surrounded by hip-deep floodwaters. People were prepared for rain and floods.
Yeah, that happens all the time. I guarantee you that picture is set up that way. That didn't land like that.
But no one expected this.
Everywhere you...
Did you see the flash? Watch the flash. See it?
Expected this.
There you go. That's the first part. That's the same.
This.
That's the same shit that you see in all the fires. That's voltage and that's amperage. That's what Yahweh is. That's what the pussy power is. That's electrical. And notice, it's the arc. Boom.
Everywhere you look. Black, wreckage, smoldering. And it goes on and on for blocks.
Many New Yorkers couldn't find Breezy Point on a map. Out on the tip of the Rockaways Peninsula, home to many firefighters and first responders, it's no stranger to tragedy. On 9/11, Breezy Point lost 29 souls.
We were looking for the holdout.
Oh, they lost 29 souls. That's a word that they use when you're talking about ships and aircraft, not people.
Basically.
2020 producers Jim DeBrill and Katura Gray went out yesterday when we heard there were people here who refused to leave.
We're sticking it out, even if we have to climb on top of our roof.
They found folks like Mary LaPera.
There's a house boarded up.
She's lived here all her life. And
let's watch here when they're asking one of the people to live there. Watch for the flash. It's coming.
Wow.
There it is right there again. So she's been there since 1960. So there's your 9 and your 6.
It's not that bad, though. Mary returns home and settles in. 6:30 p.m. It's dark now. outside the house.
Notice the purple hue around everything.
Mary's sister Joanne watches the water rising, but seems more dismissive than fearful.
When there's waves start to crash, right?
Now listen closely.
Hard and fast, the ocean engulfs the neighborhood. Then, out of all that darkness, Mary spots unusual light.
We've had to take higher ground. A bunch of homes are on fire.
Watch.
Our producers Jim and Katura are with the women as a huge blaze breaks out down the block.
There was the flash again.
Block.
Right there, see it?
It's destroyed. It feels like it's like the apocalypse.
Yeah, there it is again.
It is now 10 o'clock. With the flames menacing, the forces of nature finally deal a trace of good fortune to the neighborhood. The tides turn and the water mercifully recedes, low enough for the LaParas and others to make a desperate escape.
Next time there's a large storm, I'm just gonna leave. It's not worth it.
Many
There's the flash again.
here expected that there would be flooding, there would be lots of power, but then this fire just erupted.
As Jim reports from the scene, an explosion in the distance. Cars are blowing up.
That's where
There's the flash again. Cars are blowing up under 3 feet of water.
Cars are blowing up.
There it is again. Do you understand? This is power. This is energy. This is whatever you want to call it.
that's where we parked. It's all gone. We moved from one spot to the next spot.
Here it comes. There it is on this guy again. I know this film so well. I know exactly where to stop it. Okay, there you go again.
Oh my God. For all places.
You got to understand. And the governor said, we'll be back stronger than ever. We're a hardy lot. This is 2 factions, 2 groups. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because it was an evil fucking place. That's how it's written. Okay? The firemen are the fallen. The burning of the ground is exactly what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. It was reduced to fucking ashes. That place was reduced to ashes. Okay? It's electrical. It's current. It's a spiritual, yet it's an electrical story. It's more than one level here. I hope you're grasping what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to continue to see these fires breaking out. And they're going to keep coming up with these stupid, silly-ass bullshit stories. Men's trying to fucking cut their fucking heads off and fucking, there's, this Bundy's fighting over cows. No, they're not, because this is where these things are happening, and they don't want people in the general area to see this stuff. Because then the jig is up. Then somebody might actually put 2 and 2 together and go, I think you're fucking lying to us.
A Roman Catholic church, that was like the moment I was like, okay, we're going to be all right.
We don't know where they're going to take us. We don't know. Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know where you're going to take you? You're in a church. They're either going to take you to a rescue, or they're going to take you to a fucking gymnasium where you're going to have a cot and you're just going to stay on there. This is not normal. It's not normal. There's more than one faction. You have the fallen angels, and then you would have the guy, what we would call God. And this whole thing may be happening within the same organization. Saturn's running this joint. This could be a faction within his own joint that has done this. Because you might have the fallen angels, Saturn, and then you might have the real big guy on the outside of that. But I'm just telling you, this is a war between 2, whether it's amperage and voltage, slamming heads, or whether it's watts and ohms or whatever. The male and female, whatever. It's I don't know how to explain this in the right way. The main point is I want you to keep watching in the news for fires breaking out, because this is the status quo for the way this shit is going down. It's always going to be a fire, and they're always going to blame some stupid retard for doing it, or something bizarre. Just keep watching.
So defiant just hours earlier, the residents are now grateful to have survived. Today,
Yeah, there's number 7. 7 is the end of a cycle. Okay? If it's electrical and it's a cycle, that means the cycle is over. At least in that area, it was over. All right? Just keep watching the news. You're going to see more and more of these fires erupting. Just last week, we had an ice company that fucking exploded. Then we got the airport. Keep watching in your general area. You're going to see this shit going on. And finally, it's going to get so out of hand. Either they're going to come clean or it's just going to be complete and utter chaos. It can't go on like this. And they keep saying, oh, be prepared for a major attack. It's because one of these things is going to blow so big and then they're going to turn around and blame ISIS on it. I guarantee you that's what's happening.